Yes, sir. What's up, mi gente? Welcome back to another episode. GDO. Good days only. That's what that stands for. We're going to be talking about a little coffee here in a sec. We're going to be always, the vibes are high, dude. And then also going to be talking about some music. Gonna end this sucker up with a little GDO playlist. Let you know what I've been bumping, what I've been listening to, and maybe that'll inspire you to try a new artist out. Dude, this artist, I kind of want to just start with that, but no, let's get into the caffeine breakdown. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Let me pull up a seat and then let me put y'all on this. Because listen, I've been sipping on this coffee. I've been sipping on these Nicaraguan beans, dude. And they are fantastic, delicious. So I wanted to pull out old handy dandy trusty book here, The World Atlas of Coffee. And it's by James Hoffman. And wanted to just talk a little bit about Nicaragua, dude. Let me get a little sip of this coffee, though. Actually. Salud. Mm-hmm. Dude. Some Nicaraguan beans. Let's talk about Nicaragua. So Nicaragua, coffee was first brought to Nicaragua by Catholic missionaries in 1790, dude. A little bit ago. And initially, it was grown as something of a curiosity. It was not until around 1840 that it gained economic significance in response to an increasing global demand for coffee. The first commercial plantations appeared around Managua. Cool. Got some pictures here, dude. It's a picture book. Look. Yeah. Look at those farmers out there. Look at that harvesting. Look at that. Now, I found something interesting in here because I glimpsed over it a second ago and wanted to talk about this. Check it out. Okay. Ready? We're taking a trip back. 2013. The number of bags of coffee produced in Nicaragua, right? The number of bags produced in 2013, 1.5 million bags. Crazy, right? Already, you're like, oh shit, crazy. 1.5 million bags. Each of those bags weighing 60 kilos, aka 132 pounds, right? So a 132-pound bag, I did some quick maths about this. 1.5 million of those equals nearly 200 million pounds of coffee beans. I'm not tripping. That's a lot, right? That's a large amount of anything. Now, coffee beans coming out of Nicaragua. So that's not even top, I don't know, 10 in coffee producers in the world. Okay, I might be off on that. Might be top 10, but definitely not top 5. And that's how many pounds of beans they're producing in 2013, right? So it's been 10 years now plus. But I did a little bit of sleuthing on the internet. Brazil, who we know is, one of the large production, if not number one, number two, because they can fluctuate year to year or whatever. But in Brazil, in 2014, there were 46 million 60 kilo, aka 132 pound bags produced. 46 million, dude. That's crazy. And each one of those bags being the same weight, the 132 pounds. Dude, so fast forward to 2024, 59 million bags came out. That equals something like 7.78 billion pounds of coffee, dude. Is that not crazy? That's crazy. Whoa. How much, dude, Just think about some other. So like, because it can be, like I was like, oh, beans, they're small, whatever. How many actually is that, right? So let's think of some bigger stuff, right? Some heavy stuff that's around you. So we got a SUV in the backyard, right? SUVs, what? They're about 4,000 pounds, probably, right? 4 or 5,000. Let's say 4,000 pounds for a SUV. 4,000 pound SUV. Quick math. 7.8 billion pounds, right? The amount of pounds of coffee that came out of Brazil in 2024. So 4,000 pounds for a SUV, 7.8 billion pounds divided by 4,000 equals 1.95 million SUVs. Isn't that crazy? Think about 1.95 million SUVs and how much space that takes. Dude, that's nuts. That's like a mountain of coffee beans. That's produced like a legitimate mountain, no? Like if you stacked up 1.95 million SUVs on top of each other, how much space would that take, right? Like if you built it like kind of like a pyramid, that's crazy. Am I tripping? That's nuts, right? Has anybody ever thought of this? That's wild. Anyways, so Nicaragua, a lot of beans. A lot of beans came out of Nicaragua. So, but let's check it out. Let's learn a little bit about their history here. Um, so the 100-year period between 1840 and 1940 is often referred to as the coffee boom years in Nicaragua. And during this time, the coffee had a dramatic effect on the economy. Did I just have a stroke? On the economy. As coffee gained more importance and value, so it required the input of more and more resources and labor. By 1870, coffee was Nicaragua's principal export crop, and the government strove to make it easier for foreign companies to invest in the industry and to acquire land. All right, all right. Some history here. Let's see how much everybody was getting paid, dude. Previously, public land was sold to private individuals, and the government encouraged the creation of large farms with the subsidy laws passed in 1879 and 1889, which paid planters 5 cents for every tree. They planted over 5,000 trees. Huh. Okay, cool. That doesn't seem like that much, but if you're dealing in the thousands of trees, I guess it does, right? Let's see. The first growers cooperative was formed in the early 20th century, and the idea of cooperative was promoted again from time to time during the Somoza family dictatorship between 1936 and 1979. However, the overthrow of the Somoza family, by the Sandinistas and the ushering in of communism in 1979 was the beginning of a difficult time for the coffee industry. Holy shit, for sure. Communism, dude. Ruins everything. Come on. What are you guys doing? The Contras, rebel groups backed by the US and the CIA. Hold up. I remember learning about this. Shout out Miss Elsizer. This is crazy. Hold up. Yeah. I think we did talk about that in high school. The Contras, rebel groups backed by the US and the CIA formed to oppose the new government in Nicaragua, targeted the coffee industry as part of their campaign attacking vehicles transporting coffee farm workers as well as sabotaging coffee mills. Damn, that got dark. Well, you know what? It's up from here. Despite these setbacks, in 1992, coffee was still Nicaragua's primary export. However, the crashing coffee prices between 1999 and 2003 massively damaged the coffee sector again. Three of the largest 6 banks in the country collapsed due to their leverage. Okay, maybe it's not all up from there. Damn, Nicaragua's been through it, man. Um, Things are now, however, looking up for the Nicaraguan coffee and for more farmers that are focusing on quality. In the past, the traceability of coffee was poor, and most was sold as a mill brand or being in a particular region. Now the levels of traceability are very high. Okay, cool. That was wild. All right, well, the ups and downs of the coffee industry in Nicaragua due to communism. Sad. 2013. Fast forward to 2013, though, dude. They're putting up numbers. They're putting up numbers. Thank you, Nicaraguans, for everything you've been doing. Sorry for all the BS your country's gone through or has gone through. Holy shit, dude. The world, huh? Kind of nuts. Makes you think. Makes you think, dude. Because you're like, oh, I'm over here in my own life, in my own world, or whatever. And meanwhile, there's, communism places and people can't do stuff that they want whenever they want. But, anyways, back to some other stuff here about Nicaragua. Okay, so I was like, dude, I put on this is the outfit I'm wearing today. Cause that I feel like if I were to go to Nicaragua, I'd probably be rocking this. Got some little like palm tree action. It's a little banana republic. Kind of feels like I probably would get really sweaty in Nicaragua. I feel like it's humid. So, you know, let's see what's the most fascinating stuff to do in Nicaragua. So if you go to Nicaragua, just beware. There's a lot of volcanoes. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know if I'm trying to go somewhere where there's like active volcanoes all the way around, like all around you. That's cool though. A lot of volcanoes, some beaches, some nice beaches. Omote, Ometepe, Mombacho, the Mombacho volcano. Okay, I might just visit that because of the name. That's a cool name, Mombacho. Uh, Visit the dormant volcano and its cloud forest of Ometepe. What's a cloud forest? Huh. Let's see what a cloud forest is. A cloud forest is a tropical or subtropical forest that is characterized by frequent low level clouds and high humidity. Ah. Oh, dude. Spooky. This is kind of spooky. A cloud forest, it reminds me of that. I guess Hawaii's got kind of looks like Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii does have cloud forest. Cool, dude. So it's probably really moist. That's what I was saying. Moisture. Okay. See, a cloud forest, also called a wet forest, a primas forest, or tropical montane cloud forest. Damn, that's like a rapper also known as AKA, when rappers used to do that, like Birdman, AKA whatever, AKA. I feel like I heard that in a lot of early like YMCMB songs. Anyways, um, is generally tropical or subtropical, evergreen, montane, moist forest characterized by a persistent low cloud. Yikes! Cool. Oh yeah, Hawaii. Winter dry tropical montane cloud forest in the leeward side of the Hawaiian Islands, also known as the Kona side of the island. We're not talking about Hawaii. Hold up. Let's quit getting sidetracked. So, cloud forest in Nicaragua, Ometepe, that's cool. We got some corn islands. What are the corn islands? Check out the corn islands. Oh, why can't I click it? Okay, never mind. I can't click the corn islands. Well, lame. Anyway, so there's a lot of volcanoes, dude. Volcanoes in Nicaragua. There's 40 volcanoes. Half a dozen of which are actually or are usually active at any time. Dude, that's a lot of volcanoes, right? I was like, okay, that's a lot of volcanoes, but I guess there are a lot more in the US. There's like 160 something volcanoes in the US. Or like 130 of those are like active or some shit. It's a lot. But then I was thinking, Nicaragua is nowhere near the size of the US, right? So Nicaragua is the size of Alabama. Now imagine if you're in Alabama, like, dude, if you knew that Washington State, I mean, how many volcanoes are there in Washington State? Oh, I'm about to eat my words. Hold up. Because now we got like St. Helens, Rainier. Let's see. So what's the number of volcanoes? Washington State has 5 major volcanoes. See, dude, that's not even that many, right? So we only got 5 in the entire state of Washington. I don't know if I think Washington's smaller or larger than Alabama. I don't know. Anyways, so Nicaragua being the size of Alabama, like if you knew that there were 40 volcanoes in Alabama and at least 6 of those are active all the time, I feel like less people would live in Alabama, right? Like, yeah, I'm not trying to move there. I'm not trying to move somewhere but hey, you know what? They're producing coffee. They're producing some beans, dude. 200 million pounds worth of them. That's insane, dude. That number is just insane. I can't get over it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyways, dude. So a little history about Nicaragua, huh? There we go. There we go. It's important to learn about the world, right? Learn a little bit about somewhere else. Let's see. Let's just roll into what's been happening lately and keep these vibes going, dude. Dude, so it's mid-October. We're officially deep into spooky season. It's kind of late October. Today's the 20th. So we're about 10 days out from Halloween Eve. And, it's cold out here in the PNW. The weather has officially turned. It's cloudy a lot. It's rainy a lot. And we can, get in our heads about it and be like, dude, this sucks. I hate it. But I was thinking about it the other day, and I was talking to some friends and some colleagues, and I was like, dude, you know what's cool about this? About when it rains a lot? Like, I'm glad we don't have to pay extra money to an HOA to be able to water our lawns, dude. It's cool that we don't get fined for using too much water, or they cut the water off because you're using too much on your yard, or like you don't gotta go somewhere, like walk somewhere hella far to get some water to bring back to your village. Dude, it's rain. Wear a rain jacket. It's cool. It's kind of nice. It's like that song, Feel the rain. It's a good song, dude. It's cool. We're cool. It's raining, but we ain't gonna let that get us down, dude. It's cool that we don't have to ration our water, and I'm glad that we have the rainy days, because that makes you appreciate the sunny days even more, huh? Dude. So it's cool. Just showing some appreciation for the rain, all right? What else been happening? Wait, actually, in the same vein of the rain, dude, the other day, I was also like, damn, this sucks. I was walking in, going to the ferry, and I was like, oh, I'm getting rained on. But then I was looking at the ferry workers. Shout out to the ferry workers, dude. Everybody that's out here on the Kitsap ferry crew, as well as the Washington State ferry crew, dude. Hats off to you guys. Because, yeah, it's really, really cool. And I think it's easy to romanticize it. Like, I feel like I've done that for the longest time. Like, I romanticize you're on a boat, dude. It's cool. You're just like floating around, taking people to and fro. But also, when it's cold as hell, like in the middle of the winter, like, and starting now, they gotta be out there. Like, it's cool. Like, it's cool in the summertime when it's nice and hot. But then you're out there and you're miserable, dude. It's like Deadliest Catch. Like those dudes that are out there just in that depths and just freezing cold. And that's commendable, dude. Thank you for everything that you do. All right. Yeah. Shout out to the ferry workers, dude. Let's see. What else been popping up? Dude, I went to this spot in Capitol Hill. If you're in the Seattle area or the greater Seattle area, and you want to go to a cool little spot that is indoor and has crazy deals, happy hour, get this, dude. $5 draft beers and bottomless wings, dude. What? Who's doing that? The only place I know doing that is Five Iron. Five Iron out there in Cap Hill is by Cal Anderson Park, right around the corner from Molly Moon's, dude. Go check them out if you're into, like, they got shuffleboard, they got pool, but the main thing is their virtual golf. And so you set up, there's all these different stations, right? And you set up, and there's like real clubs, actual golf balls. You just fucking, and I know this isn't like a new thing, but it was the first time I got into this thing, or this type of a thing. And it was super dope, dude. It was so fun. Cause it like gives you live feedback. You see the flight, you see the arc, you see the travel, where you hit the ball with your club. Like, there's all these different cameras that are reading every different angle that you're, like, where you're standing, all of it. And it's cool just to get that live feedback. And also you get $5 beers and bottomless wings. Dope. Check it out if you're around the greater Seattle area. Like I said, I think reservations are probably your best bet, just because it was pretty popping. But dude, check them out. And holla at your boy if you're trying to go, but I will say this, I watched that Netflix docuseries Full Swing, super dope, highly recommend. Whatever Netflix got, I've said this before, but whatever Netflix has on their team, like the way that they make their docuseries, their sports docuseries, take that and inject it into my veins, dude. It's so good. It's so good. When I noticed it first was the Michael Jordan docuseries, The Last Dance. That's when it started, like a couple years ago. And then they've been dialing it in ever since then. And then now they got all of them, like the NFL, the football ones, the quarterback, the receiver, the full swing with golf, the break point with tennis, like all these things. And I know there are several other ones that I've watched that I'm not naming, but dude, it just hooks you. You're just hooked. That's like, you watch one episode and you're like, oh, I should go do something else. But then you're like, oh, shoot. But then episode 2, and the way that they build it is insane. I'm clapping. Way to go. Way to go, Netflix. And okay, one last thing about that. So, and what's also dope is, so for example, the tennis one. I got super into the tennis docuseries, Netflix docuseries, and it was, you started in whatever the year was, like 2023, right? And so you see the progression of the year, the whole season for all of these athletes, and then the last episode drops off like right at the end of the season. And then the new season, 2024, for example, is starting, like the actual live season, and you get to just pick up from like everything that you watched on the show. So you could just be a total normie, aka me, right? It's January or whatever, right? Let's say this, yeah, it's January, and I'm like, I don't know anything about tennis, and then I watch this docuseries, and now I know all the top 10 players in the world and everything that they've gone through for the whole last year, the whole last season. And then now I can just watch the live, like Australian Open or whatever the first one is. I think Australia is the last one, maybe. Anyways, then you're like right into the next season. And you're like, oh shit, I know all these people. It's cool. That's really cool about what they've been doing. I think that's what really hooked me. I think Forza, what F1? What is that? Need to Drive to Survive? Whatever. I never got into that one. I don't know. Yeah, Chris, whatever. If you're listening to this, I get it. Forza this. Or not even Forza. F1. I don't even care, dude. It's like, there's some of those things that you can't really get into, and that's okay. I've tried. maybe one of these days I'll come around. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, right? Game of Thrones, I watched and fell asleep during the first or second episode, probably like 6 times before it stuck. Um, so, anyways, how did we get on that? So, Netflix, sick. Dude, I'm going to say this here too. If you have not watched, what is it called? Culinary Class Wars, dude. Culinary Class Wars. You need to get yourself your favorite snack. Get yourself your little popcorn or your little whatever you're going to get. Because I got to tell you, this is a cooking show and it's going to make you hungry. So you want to have something that you're snacking on. Highly recommend, okay? Myself, I got some jumbo blue sharks from this sweet lady at a candy shop the other day. I just thought of those and I don't know where they're at. There might be a little thief on our hands in the house. Anyways, get your best snack and sit down and be prepared to read subtitles because it's a Korean show. It's a Korean cooking show. And whatever the Koreans got, dude, again, just like the Netflix docuseries, whatever Koreans got and their sauce of making movies and TV shows, dude, Train to Busan, when I first watched that, I was like, why am I not watching more Korean TV? This Squid Games, dude, freaking, but this show, anyways, whatever. Culinary Class Wars, watch it. It's awesome. And it's some of the most impressive cooking under some of the craziest parameters that you'll see on TV. And I also just shout out to all my Koreans, dude. I love just the enthusiasm, like about everything. When it's a good, when it's bad, when it's whatever the situation is, the enthusiasm and the passion is just there, So shout out to, if you're Korean, shout out to you. You're cool. You're cool in my book. So let's see. Five Iron was dope. It was super cool. Check out that show. Netflix is awesome. What else? Dude, the bike got out of the shop the other day. So I went and I haven't been talking about biking on here a lot as of late. And so that's because I didn't have my bike and it was in very desperate need of repair. The brake pads were completely shredded and you couldn't brake. Like it just wouldn't stop. And that's dangerous, especially downhill. So I took it down to my boy Ron down at Kitsap Key and Lock, Kitsap Key and Bike, Kitsap Bike and Key. It's right over there on Callow, dude. And dude, dropped it off. It was there for like a week. Ran me up like $160 or something. And got a brand new chain, got some new tires, got some new brakes. Cleaned it up nice. So now it's in working condition, dude. Watch out. These streets ain't ready, dude. I'm gonna be shredding. Down these streets. If you recall, if you've been listening for a minute, this bike was an e-bike, and then the E functionality kind of just crapped out. And so then it was just a really heavy bike. But took the battery out, took a couple extra pieces out that were bogging it down, and now it's just a cool, unique little bike. And it's fun. And it's a good way of, getting active, getting your body moving without having to, running, dude. Just running. Like, I get it. It's beneficial for a lot of things, but it's not that fun. It's not fun. Like, riding a bike is fun. Running, it's like, okay. I get it. But it's just, biking was a lot more fun, I think. So, anyways, I'm biking. If you want to bike, holla at your boy. I'm down to, plan a little something. Maybe go cruise around somewhere. I have a good little time. I know the weather's kind of not the greatest for it right now, but it's still cool. It's still cool. All right, so let's get into this GDO playlist, dude, because this I'm excited about. I'm excited to talk about these two artistas. So let's get into that now. Yeah, dude, you ready for this GDO playlist? I'm saying, and I know this maybe it's not gonna be for you, but I'm gonna say just give it a shot because I've been listening to this most recent album of these artists straight up this entire last week. I have played this album on repeat. I've probably listened to it 30 times, at least, probably. And so, for sure, at the end of the year, this is going to be the one that's like, when Spotify or Apple Music's like, hey, listen to whatever you listened to the most this last year. This is going to be the album. And it's something about it, dude. I just wish I would have heard it sooner because it dropped back in April or May of 2024. And I saw these artists pop up on the NPR Tiny Desk concert. And man, their whole vibe, their whole like just aura, is is out there. And I think a lot of people will probably agree with that. Like they look like, whoa. I think it looks cool, but it might be a turnoff to a lot of people with like the big old fluffy hat and like the wild bangs with the long hair in the back. I'm talking about Paco Amoroso y Catriel, dude. These son of a guns, they just look so cool, dude. It's kind of like one of those things where I think everybody wishes they could be that free. So like when you see somebody that's like doing whatever it is that they want, you're like, hell yeah. And that's how I feel about these guys. But their most recent album, Baño Maria, is what it's called. Got some bangers, dude. Bangers. Bangers. Songs like Dumbai. Dum 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 Dumbai. Mm, 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 mm. Dude. And Sheesh. Hola, baby. I'm just singing the songs because I can't play them on here. Anyways, and La Que Puede Puede. They'll make you at least get you a little shoulder pop in there, dude. You'll be listening, and like I say time and time again, dude, music is the language that knows no bounds, dude. You can listen to this and still bop to it. Like, you don't know what they say. Don't look it up. Don't look up the lyrics. I give you that pass. Just don't play it around anybody that speaks Spanish if you don't speak Spanish and don't understand it. But dude, it's sick. So that's like some boppy, like it'll get you at least wanting to like move or wiggle around, right? Those songs, Don't Buy Shish La Que Puede Puede. They got tracks like Agua and Cosas Ricas, dude. Add that to your essential playlist. You know what I'm saying. YouTube. Shout out to you, YouTube, to NPR Tiny Desk Concerts for getting these two on there. And thank you for doing that because, dude, new favorite artist, at least for the short little while that I'm coming up. Like, I'm going to be listening to this album probably at least once a week for the remainder of life, maybe. Shit. I know these are some strong words and is probably for a lot of people going to be one of those cases where I'm like totally hyping it up too much. But I'm just saying, dude, it hits for your boy. So who are these two? The Argentine power duo Catriel y Paco Amoroso breathe authenticity. Like I said, dude, you feel that. This is from the YouTube, like the little caption thing, But dude, you can feel it. You feel it come through the screen. They breathe authenticity. They each came up in their own right in the urban scene, buzzing with energy, ideas, and true ingenuity. Argentina is a country notorious for unabashed expression. The country has been rocked by some of the most notable music moments in Latin America, from the inception of rock en español. I didn't know that. That's cool. To waves of extreme censorship on artistic expression. Contemporary artists take nothing for granted when it comes to showing up as just as they are, and Catriel y Paco Amoroso are two of the most exciting artists doing so. I agree wholeheartedly, because these two young fellas, dude, killing it, killing it. Their whole vibe, their whole style, it's just like, whoa, what is happening? In a good way. While heavily dependent on electronic sounds, they came to play at the Tiny Desk with an arrangement of that whipped their typical beats into stirring drum taps and horn harmonies. Everything they touch turns to creative gold, spinning tracks with a unique silliness and magnetism. Their Tiny Desk is just another stop on the duo's rise. Hell yes, dude. Um, there was something that was kind of funny about the Tiny Desk concert. I'll put the link in in this podcast bio, because I just want everybody to go out here and listen to these fools because they're sick. Um, no, yeah, 100% agreed. They are just bringing themselves to the stage, you know. The band that joined them, it was kind of funny, and this is a good idea, I think, for any friend group. They just had pictures of like random people's faces on everybody's shirt, like it was just big, baggy, oversized T-shirts with people's faces on them. Maybe they're influential people. I don't think so. I think it's just random heads on some shirts, which is kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Um, yeah, dude, check them out. I don't know what else to say about them other than like the music's gonna have to do the talking on this one, dude. Because, like I said, here's the thing. I think there's this theory that I have, and I'm not gonna get too into it, but I'll give you the spark notes because I'm like, okay, let's break it down. We're all made up of what, right? At the molecular, the lowest level, right? Atoms, right? We got the neutrons, the protons, I'm listening to myself so I can't think. Hold up. The atoms, right? Made up of protons, neutrons, and what are the other ones? Electrons, dude. Electrons. We almost lost that one. Protons, neutrons, and electrons. So electrons, dude. So so we all have these electrical waves, yeah, that we're emitting. Now, kid, just stay with me here for a second, right? So we got like electricity running through us, right? And we have these different wavelengths, right? And this, I think, is where the term like, oh, we're on the same wavelength, right? We're thinking the same. Like, I don't have to say a certain thing, but you already are picking up on what I'm putting down, right? And so we have these wavelengths. How come, like, why is there no research going into wavelengths that are emitted by certain music, beats per minute, the tone, the melodies, etc., and how they interact with specific individuals? Like, I bet there are some songs that you listen to, because for sure, right, it happens to me, like, where you listen to a song and you're like, damn, I don't care what anybody thinks, this song vibes with me. Like, it's just that perfect wavelength, whatever it is, right? So I bet there should be some research on this, because I bet we could all find the songs or type of songs, or get like a curated playlist that could actually help improve or change our mental state, dude, just based off the wavelengths. No, in that, I feel like there's something there. Again, that's the spark notes. And I have had a lot of coffee, so I'm having a tough time keeping all of my thoughts in order here. But think about it. Think about it. Think about wavelengths next time that you're listening to some music, and see if I'm onto something. We're onto something, I think. Anyways, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you for going to Nicaragua and learning a little bit about the history and the amount of coffee produced. Also, think about that, dude. Think about that. I'm just gonna circle back to the beginning of this episode and say 2 million or 200 million pounds of coffee. How much space does that take up? That's a lot of space. I'm saying that's a mountain. Or freaking Brazil, 7 billion pounds of coffee? That's crazy. All right, we're not going to circle back to all of that. But hey, take care of you and yours. Drink some emergency. Drink some electrolytes. Stay hydrated. It's that time of the year, dude. Flu season. People are getting sick. So yeah, take care of you and yours. Stay safe out there, and be kind to people. Be kind to people. And think about how much how much space that would take. 7 billion pounds of coffee. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, talk to you later. Mwah.